Hey guys, Jessica here, also known as Dollface Mrs. J, or just Dollface. I am coming to you live from my living room. Well, we're not live. I'm recording this. I have my coffee. It's a rainy day here in Northern California. I thought I was gonna work today and then I was like, meh. I don't have any clients booked anyway, so I'm wearing my Thunder Buddies for Life Ted onesie. And as you can see by the kind of looks of things, is I'm going to be doing a classic Harley Quinn makeup video. So this isn't necessarily the right way, the wrong way, whatever. This is just my way of the products I use on how I achieve my classic Harley look for cons. So as you can see, I have a prepped, washed, clean face. Nothing is on it. I have my cowl on because this cowl I got from a company in Germany, and they don't include a zipper. It's just a full stretch elastic hoodie that you put on over your head, and I prefer to have it on ahead of time, so like you can kind of see. It's a really tight squeeze, and I like to put it on so that way when I go to slip it back onto my head, I'm not smearing my makeup all over my cowl and my hands and making it a complete mess. And I am holding my baby hairs and bangs back with my wig cap, so it's like totally working as a headband for now, because when I do wear my Harley cowls, I like to wear a wig cap because I like to press this wild mane as flat as possible so you don't see any hair marks, you don't see really my ears or anything like that, because I also tuck my little points of my little elf ears underneath my wig cap when I'm wearing my cowl as well. So just to streamline things, and I will be fast forwarding here and there to kind of speed things up the process, but to start, I am going to use Kat Von D's primer. It is her Lock-It foundation primer. I like using it because for her foundation is what I use for my classic Harley look. I think this works the best underneath it. So I'm going to rub it on in. And I'm totally watching The Holiday on Netflix. I'm watching like in the background because I'm sitting on my couch facing my TV. I am watching The Holiday Nailed It show. Do you guys watch that? I totally do. I love it because it's like my guilty pleasure. Okay, so got my face primed. Does anybody, I totally just dropped that in my lap. Does anybody else save the actual like wax seal covers on their Kat Von D products? I do, because I don't like it clumping up and getting gross. I do the same thing for my foundation. Okay, so I have tried all different sorts of face paint for classic Harley. Now, depending on your skin tone, depending on your skin, super oily, you cannot use grease makeup. Okay, that's theater makeup, clown makeup, and whatnot. If your skin is too dry, you do not want to use, water activated cake makeup. Why? Because it dries and it gets super dry and crusty and flaky. So I am combination skin, which means, and for those of you who don't know, I am a hair and makeup artist. I am licensed to do this for a living. Makeup wise is what I should say. I'm licensed to do this for a living, so I did have to study skin and all of that in beauty school. So anyway, to keep this short, I'm combination skin, which means I am both dry in these parts and oily in these parts. Okay, most people are combination skin, that's normal, whereas like by the end of the day, your forehead's a bit greasy and shiny, your nose is a bit greasy and shiny, you kind of get the oil buildup right around here. That's totally normal. Normal. So don't freak out. You're not like, oh my god, I'm like so greasy, blah. So what I have learned for me personally, because I know a lot of girls that cosplay as classic Harley, and they can use, hold on, and I have it because I bought it because I wanted to actually see if my skin can hold up to it. Let me just pull it out of my giant, I have my like giant makeup kit. Oops. Okay, so now there are different brands of grease makeup, okay, out there. Out of all the different brands, there's Ben Nye, which is really good. And then there's also the Mayron, which is also really good. For me, I honestly, if I didn't have to wear an outfit to a convention all day long, I would totally go with the Mayron. I don't mind wearing this so long as I don't have to spend 12 hours in it, okay? If it's half a day, or maybe even a photo shoot, which I am doing a photo shoot this morning, but this stuff takes a while for me to blend. So I kind of switch back and forth, but it is like, it's so white, it's not even registering. Like, hello. Yeah, it's like that white on camera. It's super thick. So what you want to do is you start out, most people like to start out with small layers and build it. I've known a few girls that use this. They also use Ben Nye, they go back and forth, where they slap on a good amount on the skin right away and then blend it out, which kind of both works, but I've noticed that if you just use a large amount all at once and then blend it out, you're taking less time to have to blend, which is nice. So for today, what I'm doing, and specifically for my skin tone, or my skin type, there we go. Why couldn't I even spit that out? I am using Kat Von D's lightest shade foundation, Lock-It Foundation. It is the Light 42 Neutral. This is like ghostly, like pale. It's almost as white as Clown White grease makeup. And yeah, like you can see, like I'm pasty as it is, but look how much more pastier that is. That's like gothy white. This is like what I would have like lived in junior high during my gothy skater days. Because let's face it, we didn't call it goth back then. We called it like just being a skater chick, which I was. So what I do is I kind of, okay, so, and then I use Kat Von D's Lock-It foundation brush. I absolutely love this brush. Want to know why? Because it applies it so beautifully and blends it out so beautifully. So, okay, just so you know, I don't go all the way up. Oh, real quick. Let me explain this. So, I take my mask and I apply it, okay? And then I know all right. So I basically trace my mask carefully. Oh, I know how high up to go with my makeup, because you don't want to put makeup where you're putting your mask, because then it won't stick. My mask is foam. I do make them. That one particularly I didn't make. I bought from Anasi. She's a girl. I can tag her info if you guys want. She's an amazing classic Harley cosplayer as well. I absolutely love her. So I don't go crazy as far as like bringing it down below my chin because my cowl literally sits like right here and then hugs my face. Does this look sexy? Does this make you horny, baby? Clearly. I am a character. And I also use Harley Locket in Whiteout, Kat Von D's concealer. So this basically this is fabulous looking. Look at that. Where's my mirror? Why am I doing this without a mirror? Why am I crazy? This looks ridiculous. But, okay, so really for right here, you really only need a thin line for the glue adhesive. You don't need a large amount because when you're removing, you don't want to be struggling to get it off your face later. Why is that in front? What's happening? How did that happen? I don't even know. Hello. Is it me you're looking for? Then I use Kat Von D's translucent powder. Setting powder. So, there's a lot happening here. Bhcosmetics base powder brush. Okay. Generous. Just get it everywhere. I just basically do it so that way I'm not, like, my face isn't sticky. Now I go through So I go through, so I have Kat Von D's Saint and Sinner palette, and I like to use the very pale shimmery white on the inner, why am I doing this without my mirror again? On the inner corner, and drag it over onto the lid. As you can see, it just brightens up this eye so much more than this one. It's more reflective, so it's just beautiful. Drag it over. Classic Harley. Now, as you can remember, she's just from the animated series. She's very basic. Basically drawn. There's not a lot of depth to her, so for me it's like, okay, well, I want to bring this character to life. How can I do that? So then I use the kind of it's not quite a shimmer, but it has a little bit of a shimmer. It's called Sabbath, the black. Get it? Black Sabbath. And I work that on the outer bit of my eye because I start to kind of smoke out a bit of a cat eye. Because I feel like also, like, when I do this with her eyes, it makes it more vampy and, like, gives the eyes a little bit more expression. Not just like, oh. Because let's face it, Harley is a little extra. She's an extra little something something. So then I take a skinny brush. Oh, my camera's over here. Skinny brush, skinny. And I line the lower lash line. Just smudge it into the lashes. Thicken it up. Look at that. Gives it a little bit more glam. Drag that line outward a little. So then same thing on top, smudge it in. I usually use a liquid liner, but I'm out right now, so I'm going with a softer approach. And doing just the powder liner technique. And in case you didn't know, any color powder eyeshadow can be made into a liner. You just use a small brush and apply it. Next up, I'm using my Amazonian Clay 12-Hour Blush in the color Harmony. I will insert picture now.
And I just continue applying it to the apples of my cheeks, pretty close to where the edge of my mask sits, because in the animated series, that's where she looks like she has a little bit of blush, and it just gives it a more cartoon feel. I also realized I went a bit more ham on one side than the other. Don't worry, in a minute I will fix it.
My mask is gonna cover up some of this. Oh, that's a lot on this side. What happened? Why does it sound like somebody's upstairs, but nobody is? Okay. Also, quick trick, just to make sure that you don't get any spirit gum in your brows. I use a wax stick and I cover my brows really good. Acts as a protective barrier. Holds them down in place because they're going to be covered up anyways. Ain't nobody got time for that. Mascara. Mascara, I'm super basic. CoverGirl. Doesn't gotta be fancy. You ain't gotta spend a fortune on mascara. Wanna know why? Because you go through it too fast. No sense in spending more than $10 or $15 on mascara. And if people are looking at your makeup that closely, you don't need them in your life. You don't need that kind of negativity around you. Oh, my dog needs to go out. That's him scratching at the back door. Bang, bang. Now, as a cosplayer, I go through lashes a lot. So, I try not to spend a fortune on them as well. Yay! Setting spray. Okay, so now we're gonna apply the mask. This is gonna be fun. Okay, so with this, I tend to put a little bit on the inside of the mask of where it's gonna go. So that way it holds it down in place. But I also like to paint a little on my face. Not too much, just a teeny bit above my eyebrows. And if you're not careful,
So now I'm using spirit gum and I'm applying a little bit to my forehead above my brows because I have a very strong brow muscle, and so I really want my mask to stick. So I put a little bit on, and then I also put on the back of my mask. Let them dry, kind of like I do lash glue. Let it get a little sticky, then I apply the mask.
Okay, so then you apply it. I don't know why I'm talking like I'm a TV show host, talk show host. And press it on. Obviously, you want to make sure that your fingers are clean when you're doing this. Like, see, I already got some makeup on that, on my mask. And then I'm gonna put my lipstick on. Come on. Coming off. Stay. That's not a big deal. That can be cleaned off. Yeah? Pretty darn good. I don't know why I just sat there for like 2 minutes. Oh, because I was staring at the TV. That's why. So now for the lip color. Try to do this so I'm not blocking the view of you guys. I use Kat Von D's Liquid Lip in Witches, which is just her basic black. But it dries dry. And it stays on for a long time, so it's really good for cons. I'm super like careful and super like anal when it comes to this. See? Yay! I don't overdraw them like a lot, and I don't like to extend my smile line. I know some people do, but I keep it simple because Holly keeps it simple. She doesn't go crazy with it. She doesn't have this big old smile. Not classic Harley, okay? We're talking classic Harley. So now you're about to see all the shenanigans. I mean, you've been watching the shenanigans, but you about to see this go from Thunder Buddy to Harley Quinn. Whenever I do classic Harley accent, I tend to really over-exaggerate like how cartoony I sound. Make sure it's all on there. And tuck my little ears in. I don't always tuck my ears in because they end up coming out anyways, but just when I'm putting this on. See, I still got makeup on. There she is, classic Harley in all her glory. Time to suit up. Stay tuned. Hi guys! Harley Quinn here. What do you think, doll? So cuffs were not made by me, neither was the cowl or the collar. I did purchase those, but the whole outfit is made by me. I did make my own cowl, but I didn't like the way it turned out, so I went ahead and purchased a commissioned one. Gloves I made, which I have to remake because I already got a hole in it because I have nails on. So like this glove fits me great when I have my long nails, but this one's too small. So I have to remake it because it's like not, the fingers aren't long enough. And then the cuffs, I remade like 2 or 3 times and they didn't turn out, so I went ahead and purchased these ones from Anasi. And then the collar, I had made 2 prior and I like was playing around with different ones and I really didn't like the way they turned out either. So I went ahead and purchased this one when I got my cowl. So there's my finished makeup look. I hope you guys liked it. If you guys like this content, please like, subscribe, hit the bell so that way you get all the know-how on when I post a next video. I know I do a lot of unboxings, but I'm gonna try and do more cosplay related videos. I don't know why I couldn't spit that out. I will link below any info on the makeup that I did use for today, so if you want to try and do this on your own. I'm not wearing my contacts normally during a convention. I wear my bright blue contacts because in the animated series Harley, she had blue eyes. So, and I naturally don't. Mine are hazel, green. Anyway, thanks guys. See you soon.